Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to NDB Media's The Sunday Night Review. Thank you for joining us. Today is August, I was going to say July, but it is August 11th, 2024, and we are going to be going over the Ark this evening. It is August after all, so what happens in August? The Ark. So I'm just terribly excited to get to it. You know who I am. I'm Roger, of course. I want to welcome my co-host, starting with, what are you? Okay, you're not NorCal girl. So who are you?
No. Art 54.
Hi, Arc 54. Where
Now
in the
where'd you
world are
go?
you?
You're over here. Over here.
Stop it. Stop it. Come on. Michael, how you doing over there?
Yeah, doing okay.
I'm glad you joined us.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
a
thought I'd
reviewer of
slum
the
it
ARC
today.
program. Wow,
Yeah, I
that's
needed to
absolutely
slum
awesome.
it, so
Oh, you're slumming it with us. Well, I
I'm
appreciate that,
slumming it.
Michael. So where are you right now? You're in a hotel room, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Christiansburg, Virginia,
Wow, good for you.
right near about 15 miles from Virginia Tech.
Oh, neato. All right. Marsha! Marsha! Marsha!
Hi.
Well, Beetlejuice. I had to do it. Marsha!
Hi. How you doing, everybody?
Glad
Marcia.
you joined us, Marsha. Where in the world are you?
I'm in Florida. Hot Florida where storms and hurricanes can hit anytime.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And lo and behold, what is up? Richard Arc 1701. Way to go. You stole that number from me.
Hello, how you guys doing? I'm doing fine.
All right. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Well, all right. So, Michael, what'd you think of episode 3?
Well, I just saw it again last night. That was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed it. It was, reminiscent of some other things. Uh, Electricity going wild.
Okay,
I,
fair
I
enough.
enjoyed it, but
I,
I know
I
some
actually
people
put
didn't.
Michael under the spotlight because he said he was probably not going to be able to join us, so I had to go to him right away. But all kidding aside, Norm, hi from Canada. I'm glad you're joining us. We appreciate your commentary in the chat room. Lethal migraine, yeah, I don't know what time of month it is, but hey, it is what it is, so we're all good in the hood. Folks, we're going to get to it. We're going to do 2 episodes tonight, and that will put us back on schedule. So we'll be able to do a weekly review. We're going to review episodes 3 and 4. And what was the episode title to number 3? I can't believe it.
Anomaly.
Here are all my
Ano-
notes. No title.
I think it's Anomaly,
Anomaly.
isn't it? Yeah.
Anomaly.
Anomaly. Yes. Written by John Paul Nickel and Jonathan Glasner. And of course, it was directed by Milas Todorovic. Didn't you interview
Oh,
him
God.
this past week, Michael?
Yes, we did. He gave
Yep.
us some great insights on some of the production because he directed episodes 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
So
That is cool. Well, we're going to be talking about that one right now. So, all right. Who wants to go on and get started first? Do you guys want to go over your highlights? Some of the stuff you thought about it, the good stuff, bad stuff. What do you guys want to do? Best scene, stuff like that. We're not going to go beat by beat, are we?
no.
That takes too long.
It's good.
Okay, you want me? I'll go with what I enjoyed. I think is this the episode that
Where the light
Angus
bright
fell out of
is
bed?
going all over.
Was it? Is this the episode he fell out of bed? Because I thought that was hysterical. I'm trying to remember now.
No, does he? Who does? No.
Yeah, who fell out of bed?
Angus. Was that episode 4? Because he rolls and he falls out.
That might have been episode 2 or even 1.
Are you
I-
talking
I-
about when he had the fever?
Because he had the fever in episode 3.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he has a fever in 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and how he. Were you talking about the same scene where he was like totally under the fever and telling Griff
Yeah,
how.
and totally delirious.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was
And he said Griff was beautiful and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
but not as pretty as his girlfriend. So
Yeah.
So what was
Good
the
old
bad,
Griff.
Michael?
What was bad? I'm trying to. Was this? I'm getting them all mixed up. It's so terrible.
Yeah, you are.
I know it's terrible. What was bad? The thing coming out of the box so quick. They didn't build a box big enough for the electricity thing.
You mean the light break?
Yeah. And then it was breaking out, and he had to run through the hallway. I thought that was a little ridiculous. Nobody would move.
Are you kidding? It was done for the Olympics. I thought it was done very well. And no, Lethal Migraine, I don't know the year, so it's all right. I think they timed it very well. So, Liz, what are your thoughts? What was a good part of the episode? Bad part?
a couple of the good parts I liked were simply because Bryce, not Bryce, but Felix now finally went and gave Kimmy the baton. And there's still some secrecy going on between that as to what lieutenant they're looking for. And I like that part of the mystery that they're going to kind of continue that thread on through maybe a couple more episodes. I did kind of agree with Michael that the Faraday box was way too small. And it kind of also irritated me that nobody, as much as they trusted Alicia in the past, with almost everything she said, were all like poo-pawing her now, saying, oh no, it's, it could have been because you were hit by lightning, it screwed up your memory, and it's not real. That part I found irritating as well. With as much as they've trusted Alicia, they should have immediately responded to that.
All right. Marcia?
So if we're doing light right now,
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Or if you want to go to or if you want to go to any particular scenes or anything.
well, I like that they talk more about the Juno project because I want to see more about that for a lot of reasons, and we're having discussion on the group about what exactly the Juno project is and what kind of logic it makes, and who are the matches? That's what people want to know. Well, who is Garnett's match? She didn't seem to be too pleased with who she found out was her match. Of course, we don't know who that is yet. So I have my own suspicions about that. And also about the Juno project, now that we know that a lot of people are gone, has it rematched itself based on people that are no longer available? Or are there people now who have no matches that are still alive? And what is the Juno project going to do about that?
Yeah.
And another question is, who exactly is running the Juno project now? If anybody, is that Trust or how is that working? So,
Marcia, I would have to assume that Trust is still doing it, but it's a spreadsheet. That's all it is. And I believe they talked about it in episode 1 or 2 where he said, well, I'm going to have to redo the project. And I think Garnett said something to the effect
Garnett said,
no.
No.
So I don't know.
And then she looked at her match.
I think that's all it is right now.
Yeah.
Because it began the episode with Lane, and actually I wrote Burke, but it was actually Garnett talking about Juno. And later on in the episode, she couldn't go to sleep, and then she starts searching. Oh my God! So who do you think it is? You have an idea, Marcia?
Well, I do have an idea. At first, I thought it might be Lane, but that's too easy. I figured that's too easy. Then I thought it might be Felix.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we do
But
get a little.
also, see, I like and don't like the Juno Project because obviously Felix has a daughter, so they know how to have children without having, have to have direct intimate relations with people. So why do they even need that in order to procreate? You just need the DNA or whatever it is that they need now, 100 years in the future, to put X and Y together and have a child. So I
Marcia,
both like and dislike what?
is it possible that their child was adopted?
Well, yeah, you would bring that up, huh?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Um, but in any case, but they would, because we know how to do that now. So that's no big deal. We know about surrogates and all that.
It's genetic diversity. They don't want too many inbreds that would cause defects. That's why
yeah.
that's what the Juno Project was all about, as to match people that won't have genetic defects in their DNA when they have kids. So
Right,
that
and I
was
know
what it was
that
all
that's why
about.
they can have couples, because couples really emotionally don't have anything to do with DNA compatibility necessarily. So,
But that's what the whole project was, is so because they have such a limited amount of people,
right,
they
400
needed
people on the arc, on
diversity.
each arc.
right,
Yeah.
and we've been discussing how many people you actually need in order to maintain genetic diversity in any for generations, and so it's going to be interesting anyway. So I both like and dislike that.
All right, fair
Um,
enough. Some of the negatives.
well, um, I didn't like the. I thought it was resolved too quickly. The anomaly. I thought that was a kind of an episode of the week kind of thing. Although I think that we may see the anomaly later on. Because I had this thought, me and my sci-fi mind, maybe the anomaly is angry with them for messing with what they wanted to do, and it's going to come back and for revenge or something. So I think the anomaly is more sentient than maybe we initially thought.
I've seen those movies, Marcia. Final Destination. I never get behind a truck that has logs. I never do that. But all right, that's
So,
cool. Fair enough. All
yeah.
right. Richard, why don't you give us some likes and dislikes on that?
Likes, huh? Well,
Uh-oh.
I what did I like about this episode? I gosh, I don't know. Maybe I like
Right, Tony?
I guess I don't know. I don't know what I liked. I mean, it was interesting. I don't know. I mean, Kelly getting out with electricity, letting her out. That random strike that lets her out, and when we have to put up with her trying to run out of the airlock, and finally getting her out of the airlock, her wanting to kill herself. That was kind of irritating in a way. But another episode with Kelly with her drama going on, which is fine. And I agree, the electricity thing was like the villain of the week with Marcia. Okay, this week we're going to do electricity. But when you're doing how many episodes in this season? 10?
12.
12.
You really don't have many throwaway episodes like you do if you're doing 22 or 20, like the networks. I mean, you really don't have many throwaways. And so, but it was a fun episode. I agree. It's a fun episode. But so, and the Juno Project, I don't know what to think about the eugenics of this. I mean, do we, in a way, I mean, I can understand, we don't want to do that, but we're talking about only a limited number of people. I mean, we don't want to do it here, but maybe on the arcs they have to do it because they want to make sure that, like you said, that there's not any kind of defects. But it doesn't matter who you match up. It doesn't matter. doesn't mean they're going to get away with defects, because you just can't. You don't know what that genetic makeup's going to be.
No.
So I mean, you can't predict that. And I understand, but then maybe they don't have enough room to have, to do all these kids in a bottle. They have to do it the old-fashioned way, but they don't have enough. They don't have the room or the technology on that ship to do it. I don't know. I mean, a lot of the ship has been damaged, so who knows if that where they were supposed to grow the kids got damaged. But they're looking to do this the old-fashioned way, is what, and so I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know that's going to come into play, and how it's going to come into play. The Juno project. I mean, it wasn't a very good movie to begin with.
Well, Richard, you make a point, because remember the whole DNA vault. How would they have grown, all of those different animals and insects and whatever? There has to be something else there to be able to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a big vault. Yeah, you're right, and they got to find and they're still looking for a place for that. But I don't know how they're going to pull this one off. And the whole episode and seeing Bryce run through with the Faraday box reminded me of the old O.J. Simpson commercial.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Faraday
You don't have to
box.
run through airports anymore.
Oh, that's funny.
And of course, you don't have to run through airports or you get tased these days. So it was fun to watch Bryce show off his athleticism, I guess, dodging and running and throwing it out. And I agree with Marcia about the electricity, because it's not get bounced off the wall of the bubble, didn't it, Marcia? It just bounced around a little bit. I don't even know if it completely escaped. It seemed like it just didn't get pushed out. But the whole electricity thing, it was a fun episode. And it was fun to watch them rescue the guy in the bay where they had with them not have to step on the floor where the electricity, but the water was and all that stuff. And because I guess they didn't wear rubber soles back up, 100 years from now. So I mean, the whole
Good
thing.
catch. Good
Yeah.
catch, buddy.
So the whole thing was fun. I mean, if you're looking for a fun episode and villain of the day, like Marcia would put it, like, well, this is like that. And I'm trying to figure out if it really moved the plot along for the whole season as a whole. Besides the end there with the mystery of, well, who's Garnett's match? And she's like, oh, and it's like, so I guess that gives us something to talk about today. Who is her match? I mean, is it Lance? Is it Felix? Is it Angus? Some people have put up the Angus part because of his dream that he had last season, right? So it's interesting. So I guess we'll find out.
Now,
okay.
remember, in this very same episode, Bryce is messing with Lane
Mm-hmm.
about the long-lasting hug and stuff, implying that there was something there. So I don't know if it's that, knowing they don't get along. I don't know. I actually have no comment. I do thank you, Lethal Migraine. I just have no comment at this point in time, but thank you. Just mark your clocks right here at 6:20 p.m. on August 11th. That's all. But anyway, I think they're playing it very well, because the whole idea is that you would think it's Lane, and knowing the confrontation, how they were butting heads, especially throughout season 1. And then there was a bit of a warm up a little. I really thought it was funny when Bryce said, dude, come on, you and the boss. I mean, that was such workplace speech. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
it was really good. That part of it felt real, the conversation.
Well, that ribbing was fun to watch.
It actually was.
It was fun to watch Bryce and push his buttons a little bit, and
yeah, he was.
So it was fun to watch that kind of workplace ribbing go on too, and it was fun to see that no one got upset and had the coddled mind and had to go file a complaint with HR because they got their feelings hurt. So it was fun to watch that.
Actually, that was very good. Another thing that I did appreciate about that was not that in particular, and oh my goodness, I just had my notes on it. Hope I didn't get. Yeah, I think I got. Oh, when Alicia and Angus, well, she went to Angus. And she, the little bubbly little creature that she is, boom, just everything. The flood came out again. Alicia season 1 returned in that one moment where she's just spilling everything out. Angus just listening, but he's actually listening though.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they're
you're
talking about the electricity, how everyone doesn't think she's all there. The Dr. Marsh says, well, yeah, when you get shocked, your brain can get
Mhm.
fried and things can go crazy. And they immediately came up, well, what about the whole concept, the sapien concept, the plant that directs itself towards the sun? That's real.
Yeah.
True
So that was cool the way they worked that out. And the beauty of it was that Angus didn't question her. He was listening. And instead of saying, yeah, you know what, you got a good charge there, woman, clean up the
Yeah.
brain. No, he was working it out with her, which was really cool.
He wasn't
did
like,
appreciate
you got
that.
to rethink this relationship, but yeah, you're right. I like that how he listened, and that's Angus though. So and their relationship.
The other thing that I did appreciate was, I believe, where Michael said where where Griff was helping him, and his temperature was up, whatever, and he says, "Oh, I have a girlfriend." And, that part was kind of funny, and she's like, "Oh, well, I'm glad you let me off easy." That
Yeah.
was really kind of funny.
Yeah.
And earlier in the episode, Dr. Marsh is talking to her. He said, well, why don't you go talk to Angus? And I don't know if he says your boyfriend or whatever. And she starts to say, wow, he's not really my boyfriend. Yeah, Marcia, he says that, right?
Yeah.
And it was great where she's, well, I don't know really if he's my boyfriend or not. I don't know if it's official, whatever. Yeah, I don't care. That was funny.
That was a little bit too defensive.
Yeah, that was.
Hey, but Alicia and Angus finally got the first kiss, even though it was super, super quick.
Yes.
Well, one thing about the Juno project, I think we can bet that Bryce and Eva are not going to be matched,
No, they're not.
because they said the love word in this episode, and we all know that once couples get too kissy huggy, they have to get ripped apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that coming.
Oh.
I will not be surprised
Yeah.
if we find out that eventually Eva is pregnant with Bryce's baby, because there has to be some kind of, that always happens in these shows, or someone gets pregnant and they're trying to deal with how are we going to handle the baby and blah blah blah, and then she gets in danger trying to save the baby and everything. It's a plot line. It may not happen.
But it's also a Dean Devlin creation, so that doesn't mean it's going to follow what we think of the norm.
Well, so far it has. So I'm just saying, I'm just predicting it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I just look for it to happen. And maybe it's a false alarm, but you're right. I mean, they're going to have to be ripped apart because of. But it's not going to fly. I don't think Bryce is going to let it happen.
I have to tell you that the negative. Oh, go ahead, Marcia.
You can't have a happy couple for too long.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't work for drama.
Right,
So
right.
They may get back together later on.
Right, and they may even tear themselves apart. There could be.
They may what? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. That's my bad. I should not do that. I'm just saying maybe they have a conflict between themselves that pushes them apart, and they have to take a while to get. Doesn't mean they.
Yeah.
Because if Trust tries to pull them apart, Bryce is going to hit him again.
That was phenomenal when he did that.
Yeah. So
it was absolutely awesome.
They'll just get punched again. So we'll see. It's fun to watch. And this way, I'm just go ahead. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
Marcia.
Well, one thing I liked, which was kind of off the wall, I liked when they went into Garnet's quarters, or she went into her quarters and was lying there, and you could see like space crap flying past the window. I thought that was a nice touch. that they added. I got the movement of the feeling of movement through space. I thought it was that was a
Right.
good.
Yeah, it was the FTL bubble, and they're inside it, and they're seeing all that stuff about.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. I like
Yeah.
that.
I thought it was a bit too a negative for me in the episode was it was a tad too convenient where Kimmy got her baton back. I did appreciate the conversation where Strickland said, "Hey, look, you want to be on the team, whatever." I mean, this was a flashback to Best of Both Worlds, Riker and Shelby having the confrontation in the elevator, but it was a one-sided saying, "Yeah, you want to talk to the captain? Yeah, all right, go ahead. Through me." All right. Otherwise, I'm going to use his baton on you. No, he didn't say that.
Well, I'm
But-
sure, real quick, Roger, like you said, all I got to do is go back and watch Star Trek Next Gen. They probably had this electrical anomaly themselves, and they're supposed to rerun, and they figured it out.
Well, it's possible. You know
I'm
the
just
joke.
kidding.
The joke when they
know.
make parodies of it. Hey, why don't we reroute the engines or whatever? And they all look at each other, say, "Well, it worked last week."
Yeah, it worked last week. Yeah,
But that's just one of those parodies that they do. But it's all
yeah.
good.
I'm just kidding. And I like Marcia what they said about the stuff flying past the window. I mean that shows off the bigger budget and that they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a bit too convenient the way Kimmy got the baton, though. She saves his life after the third argument or conversation, and then he reconsiders because she says, "Well, I hope I'm there to watch your back next time." I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Other than that, the episode was okay. There were some good aspects of it. I told you I was turned off at the end of episode 2 the moment I saw Light Bright. I'm like, oh, come on. But I was turned off by the end of the episode. But how many of you noticed that when they ejected, and I appreciate that you remembered the box. What was the box called again?
Faraday box.
Faraday. When they threw it out, did you notice that it connected with the arc again?
Arcane. Yep. Yep.
Oh, pardon the pun. It arced.
Oh.
I mean, it did. I mean, don't think of it. But Marcia, did you see that? Michael, Richard, did you guys? When it got him,
No, I
look at
did
it
not.
again very carefully. It's very subtle that when he throws the Faraday box out, it gets out, and look at where it ends up. Did that cause?
Well,
So
sorry, so
is
that'll
it
be back.
angry? Is it a lie?
Yeah.
He said, "You ain't getting rid of me that quick or that easy."
Yeah,
I don't know.
It didn't escape the bubble, right? I mean, it hit the
I
bubble
don't
and bounced
think
back.
it escaped. Oh, very good. Okay,
Yeah.
that I didn't.
It hit the bubble and bounced back real quickly. So
yeah.
and that's when it stuck to the hole, like you said, Mr. Roger. And so that's why, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I think you're right, Roger. It will come. It'll be back, and maybe it'll be bigger and stronger because it'll have time to grow. Because it might be able to get. I know that they're no longer in the FTL, but it might have been able to get some energy from that bubble when it hit it. And now it's just biding its time. Since it's intelligent, it can bide its time, right?
I don't think it is sentient. I do think it's sapient, though. Same thing with electricity. It's not sentient. It's not an alien. It's something. It's something else.
Well, a scorpion does what a scorpion does because a scorpion does what a scorpion does.
Yep.
Not necessarily sentient. And well, actually, it may be. Okay, I'm not going to get into that right now. It's still too heavy for this episode. But there are animals like the amoeba that does. Wait a minute. What is the one, that little thing in the ocean that doesn't have a brain? Reminds me of my coworkers. Do you guys remember what that is? A jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
The jellyfish does what the jellyfish does.
Yeah.
So, it's not sentient. So go figure. So it's probably going to do what it's going to do, and it wants to go back to mommy because it came from mommy and it wants to go back. Light Bright. That's what I called it. What was the name that you had for it, Marcia, Richard, and Arc 54? Like I said, the minute I saw it, I was like, Light Bright. I don't know why. It just stuck with me. Remember those little things that you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like
So what
bright
did you think?
things with light. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, very good. So what did you name it?
An electrical anomaly.
An electrical anomaly. Okay, an EA. What did you call it, Marcia? In your mind, what was it?
No, I didn't really have a name for it, but I thought it was going to talk. I thought,
Oh,
If it talks, it must have a name. That's funny. You thought it was going to talk.
He's gonna talk. Hey, how you doing?
I thought initially that it was going to help Kelly because that was the first thing we saw.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
It
I
did.
Oh, cool! It's coming for Kelly. But no. So,
Okay, but you thought it was going to talk, but no name. Richard, what is the name that you gave it?
I just called it. I called it Electro.
Oh, Electro.
From
Michael,
the
did you
Spider-Man
give it a
villain.
name?
I
That's
did
good.
not give it a name.
see,
I just said, "Oh, it's the anomaly. You know, it's electric." Oh,
The
whatever.
anomaly. Or maybe the anomaly was that no one knows who the matchup is in Juno. And when Garnett looked at the list, that's anomalous.
what?
Roger.
No, stop it. When she looked at the list, she's like, nah, maybe that was the anomaly.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm hoping that her matches somebody who we haven't met yet, and we get to see a new character, but it's somebody she knows, but we just haven't either really talked to them or seen them a lot, and it's going to be a new character. That's what I'm thinking.
okay, something that has not been mentioned yet. When Eva and Bryce had their nice relations, he said it was nice. She got a bit offended. Nice, dude. You got to come
Yeah.
up with some better stuff. And then he started speaking in her native language, and she was confused. He said, "Well, I said I love you." He said, "That's not what you said." He said, "I have a cheese head."
I know.
I mean, that was kind of funny. I mean, you can.
He
The
got played.
Serbian, the Serbian people are going to have to tell us if he, in fact, he did say that. Ich bin ein Berliner. I mean, what was it? Am I a citizen of Berlin, or do I want my green eggs and ham? Which is it?
Well, who taught him that phrase? Which
Sasha.
Yeah.
Sasha.
So
Yeah.
Sasha played him, and that does happen, and a little joke on Bryce. That was another little fun element in the episode as well.
Now, right after that, or maybe a few scenes after, Dr. Marsh is engaging Kabir, and he knows she doesn't want any medication. So he says, "Look, let me do I can't think of the word, but let me do some
Massage?
physical."
Is it
So
massage?
it was a massage, yes. But I'm trying to think, not necessarily holistic, but there's a specific phrase for that. But that's okay. So you guys know what I'm talking about. And
Before
he
you
starts
say
to
that,
do the
though,
massage. What?
Roger, before you say that, though, before the massage, I'll let you go back to talk about that. But I like how he clicked into why she wasn't going to take the medicine. And then he went back to kind of, okay, yeah, you're not going to take it because you need to be on your feet. You need to be well. There needs to be another doctor. But he knew just that from implying that he wasn't going to say it's because you had a past addiction. He understood it, but he wasn't going to.
He knows what happened.
Yeah, he gave her some dignity, basically.
Okay, yes. Fair enough. Well, he gave her dignity, and then he was trying to help her out. I did not see, forgive me for saying it, the perv, the Pete, whatever. I thought that he was doing it in a professional manner, and I guess when she started to, whatever, for lack of a better word, he hit a nerve.
He triggered something that had happened in the past.
What is it that happened in the past?
Oh,
what do you think it is? Was it an abusive relationship?
Yeah, that's something.
Is it as easy as that? Or was it an assault for her to try to get on the ship? Something, you never know. Did she have to do something? It's a shame, but I'm thinking it's an abusive relationship. Did you give that some thought, Michael, on what it might be?
Well, I was trying to figure out, I said, is because remember we were told that they're going to go back into some of the characters'
right
past and how it relates with things. So I was trying to think, is an abusive relationship enough of a hook? Do you think that they would do, or do you think they would do something more complicated?
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, that's exactly what it was, a light bright. Thank you for that. Michael, there's more to it. Was it a colleague that did that?
Yeah.
Was she
Is
taking
it somebody
advantage?
else on the ark?
Is it a guy that looks just like Dr. Marsh? It could be
Well,
an actor.
that's interesting because when Felix went to touch her in a rather intimately physical, she didn't have a problem with that.
I also detected a lot of intimacy relationship between those two in season 1. Yes, we know Felix is gay, but that does not mean that he is not bi or pan and can be fluid in any which direction. And I think there was something there between the two of them that was developing. And I think she was okay with that. Plus, Felix was incredibly respectful, helped her get over the drug addiction in the past, was her best friend as well. So I don't think she had a problem. And he asked, do you mind if I, look at certain things? She's like, well, I'm not feeling exactly up to par or whatever right now, go ahead. So I think there was a lot in that play as far as that goes.
Richard, did you see that? And I'm going to ask everyone.
Well,
And my question specifically is, did you catch that aspect? Because I'm saying no, because I didn't see that.
Okay.
But that just because I didn't see it doesn't mean I'm right. I thought he was just straight gay.
Well,
I know that was kind of lame, right? But no, respectfully, in that he's devoted to his spouse, and that was it. I did not catch that he could be pan or whatever. So, did you, Richard and Marsha and Michael? Did that come to mind?
a little bit. And
Oh, it did.
And if you're talking about, her getting a little upset and stuff, well, you can't. It doesn't take much to trigger either. And plus, you got to understand, she's already feeling vulnerable in that hospital room. And plus, there was no warning when he came up behind and started squeezing her shoulders. So, I mean, there was. So,
there was warning because he asked if he could do that.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Oh, did he? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought she did.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he did too. Yeah.
Well, she's still. Well, she still got upset about it. So I don't know. So I guess
maybe it was where he touched her.
Maybe,
and that's what I implied about.
Okay, I see
the nerve. It was all of a sudden, and she felt almost like a flashback.
Well, it's funny because when Felix touched her, it was in a more intimate body area than when the doctor, which was on the shoulder, which I thought was there. I happen to be. I'm a licensed massage therapist, which
By the way,
mind, kind of. I felt that they're bringing some holistic stuff into this.
That's right, holistic. I said it. Okay, I'm sorry.
He's gonna get a massage. Go for it. They're gonna bring some stuff. Maybe they'll bring some essential oils and stuff to it.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah,
crystals.
That's funny, Marsha. That's good though. Hey, that was
good. But so Dr. Marsh just touched her on the shoulder. So when and it wasn't unexpected exactly.
Yeah.
And Felix's touch was in a much more physically intimate area, but he kind of prepared her for it. Plus they know each other more, like you said, Roger. They know each other, and Liz, they know each other. So
now, Marsha, you might have been a bit distracted. I think someone was trying to talk to you, but I threw the question out, and I'm sorry if I'm not trying to be condescending. It's Liz made the point that possibly he may not just be gay. He may be.
I heard that, and
you caught that as well.
I'm kind of hoping. that they expand that possibility and make it so that it's not a thing, but it's something that's accepted that could happen, and that would even, to me, make the show even more interesting in that way. So we're not just boxed into, this, and this.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
All
Well,
right,
it
fair
depends
enough.
on it depends
did
on
you-
which box they checked.
Oh, wow, yeah.
What do you mean
No,
by
but-
that?
No,
I'm nothing.
well, but Liz implied that there is some of that. Did you catch that aspect, that vibe, I guess, for lack of a better word?
I did. I'll go
I
with
did
that. I did think about that, and that's what made me think. Oh, okay. Maybe they're expanding. That's interesting.
Okay, that's fair. Richard actually did. He said, "Yeah, you know what? I kind of got that feeling too." Michael, did you? Because I guess I'm dumb.
Well, I did in season 1. I mean,
Oh, you did.
I did in season 1, but then, well, the next episode, then I said, oh, maybe I'm wrong. They're gonna go a different way instead. So, I mean, who knows?
Well, that does remain to be seen. Now, I did appreciate also when Garnett entered Kat's quarters, which was hers. I miss you. It felt genuine, and then I think that's where she had stayed in the quarters, and then she got the pad and started scrolling through it. And, no,
Now-
it would have been
now-
great if she said "Casco," but she's not Italian, so.
Now, did I miss something? I did not
you
think
did.
that she and Kat were that close.
I didn't think
in
they were
season
either.
1. Okay, good, because I was going, I don't remember that they were this close and they were best buddies. I mean, they butted heads a lot, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't take them as being best buds, but they communicated well. And you don't have to be sorry. You don't have to be best buds with someone that's miss them.
Exactly, and plus, that now that Kat is dead, she could probably just be, feeling the loss
Yeah.
now that she's gone. And plus, sometimes you see it where they always talk bad about somebody. You've seen a person, but then when they die, they have all these nice words to say about them, But before they die, they're like, "Oh, he's an asshole," and blah blah blah. But doesn't mean they didn't have respect for that person either.
Yeah, because remember there was an agreement between the two, and she fulfilled the agreement. That's why she got the quarters.
Right?
Yeah.
because she
So
was
there was a
supposed
bit of
to be the-
understanding.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marsha.
Refresh my memory. Was it Garnett to whom Kat showed her disfigurement in season 1? I'd have to go back and look.
I don't recall. That's a good question.
I don't think she knew.
I
I don't think- I thought very few
Crush.
people knew.
thought it was trust she showed. I'm not certain.
Oh no, she showed
Great question, Marsha. I don't
Oh,
recall.
who did she? I only remember her showing one person.
Yeah.
Jag,
Took off the-
Was
where are you, Jag? Come
Was
on,
it the
answer the
doctor?
question.
Was it Kabir? No.
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 Who was it?
Wow, that's a good. I don't
Oh.
remember. Jeez.
It is.
I know
And
she showed
remember
one
that
person. I just can't
moment,
remember who.
but I don't remember who. Very good. Yes. I guess that means we have to
Does
go back and-
anybody in the chat room that's live remember who it was?
Oh, there's a lot of people who are live in the chat room.
If it was Garnett, then that would show that they were closer than.
No, I don't think it was Garnett. I'm almost
Yeah.
sure it was not Garnett.
And all I remember from that scene is her back and side. I don't remember who she was showing it to, but I remember her taking off her wig.
Was it Felix? Maybe.
That or she was doing it in a mirror, for all I know, for all I can remember. But like I said, all I remember is her. I can't
Yeah.
remember who the person was on the side.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
They came in for counseling, and she was adjusting.
Mm.
So who was she counseling with? Let's see.
That's what I can't
Lane was
remember.
Lane was the only one I know of that she was counseling.
Who?
Oh no, she did everybody.
Yes, but that we saw on screen.
Eva,
Yeah.
maybe. Was it Eva?
Ooh, yes, I think it was.
Was it?
I think it was because that's when it was during the trying to figure out who killed what's his name?
Who
When
killed
Harry-
the guy in the first episode?
Oh,
First episode, yeah.
Yeah, Scottish guy.
Uh-huh.
Her true love.
No,
No.
Eva's
No.
true love
No,
died. I think in the
It was
second episode.
he had counseling after he died, so that because Garnet ordered
Yeah.
Eva
Right.
to cancel to
Yeah.
get counseling from
But it was
Kat.
during that, yeah. It was all that time frame is when I can't remember his name in first season. Shame. And
Is
I
it
just talked to him. But there was that. So
Oh, you mean
Mhm.
Dominic?
Okay.
yes, Dominic. But that's not his character name.
Right.
I
Yeah. And
remember,
I
I
was gonna
remembered Dominic. I didn't remember his character name.
Well, at least we got that right today, because I flubbed yesterday when I was talking about Stacy and I said Alicia, and
Yeah,
Ryan was like,
I
Mhm.
know.
and I was like,
It's fun.
all
So
right.
anyway, that would lend some more depth to their relationship. I was happy to see that Garnet had some respect and tenderness toward Kat and kept
Yeah.
her poster. But you're right. I thought about that too. Where did that friendship come from?
Now, near the end of the episode, after Eva and Bruce embrace, they expel the Light Bright. Thank you, Richard. And Marsh helps Kabir to begin the recovery by
Mhm.
walking and stuff, which was really good. And then Hank is like, "Hey, I want to join in. Can I walk with you?" And Marsh is like, "I can only help one at one time." And then Griff decides to help him out, but he can actually walk on his own. And that's where they discuss the nanites, right? He says,
Yeah.
"Hey, yeah, it looks like the nanites killed off your infection, but the problem is they were programmed for her. So I don't know," said Dr. Marsh, which I thought was kind of cool. That was funny. And I think that's where Kabir said, "Where can I get me some of that sweet, sweet Kelly blood?" And they're like, "Really? No!"
Well, I like how
Kabir
Angus.
actually had a sense of humor right there. It was
Oh,
funny.
I know. I like how Angus had said though. Well, you think the nanites are the reason why I don't need my glasses anymore?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So he will not be wearing glasses in season 2. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Look, this whole thing of is this? Yeah, this is the episode where Kelly says she wants to take her life, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's actually, it happened very early on.
Yeah.
That was
And
near the beginning.
and Kimmy was like, "Well, I was trying to save her, but you won't give me access to the ship." And I'm sorry, that's how I took it. But he says, "I'm not going to give you access." But anyway,
Well, I hope you're going to be nicer to Kimmy when she comes on.
I was going to say the same thing.
oh, you bet damn right. Anyway, for being as new as she is, she's one of the first ones to agree. That was really
Yeah.
something. So, but okay. Other than that, I appreciate Bryce used the line here, "Plant Boy," which was really good. That was funny. And there were a few other things throughout. But as as the episode ended, it was good. They dropped out of warp, and then they immediately say no Arc 3, no stars, and Bryce is like, "What?" And boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll end that, but I have an immediate question, knowing exactly what happens in the next episode. All's fair in love and war. All's fair if Bryce happens to. Why didn't it happen the other way around too? We'll get to episode 4 in a moment. All right, your thoughts on episode 3, and I'll take the grading scores. So we'll go with Marsha first on this one.
We're doing grading now.
Mhm.
We did that last week.
Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, we're gonna do grading. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get into teacher mode. Let me watch this episode. Special effects A. Storyline, I'm going to give a B. Overall, character development, I'm going to give a B plus. So I go overall with a B.
Okay, Marsha, appreciate that. Michael, what's it gonna be?
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do a B also, just because it was close to a B minus, I will say, but I wish there was more to the episode. But I have learned that I don't pick everything up the first couple of times that I look at it. So there might be something hidden in there that I haven't picked up. So that's why I'm going to give it a B instead of a B minus, because I think there's something in there that I have not seen yet.
B minus. I'm sorry. You said B minus, Michael?
No, I said B.
I apologize. Okay. Got distracted for a moment. Richard.
I'm gonna go with the B also. I mean, it was B.
There was something else you wanted to say?
No, I'm just gonna.
Wow.
I was, but I didn't want to linger on anymore. I mean, I agree with everybody else that it was a decent episode, so it's a B.
Liz?
I'm going to give it a B plus for two particular reasons, and both
D
of those
plus?
a
B.
B as a boy.
B. Phone home.
For
I don't
two
know why I did
particular
that.
reasons, it has left me with two questions. I'm still trying to contemplate what's going on. One, of course, was the question of why did Kabir jump when her shoulders were touched? That goes back to past trauma, I'm going to assume. And the other mystery is when Kimmy went and woke up the other girl, and she's like, "Did you find anything more about the lieutenant?" That has my mystery going too. And for those two reasons, I'm going to elevate it just slightly to a B plus.
Okay, that's right. And on my notes, when I went over it, it was have patience. We'll get him.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? Because I didn't like the faces that Kimmy made when she finally got the baton. No, when she finally got access. She gave the face. I'm like, oh, man, she's a freaking traitor. But that would be too easy. She's not a traitor. They're looking for someone. Michael, you're going to say something.
Well, I was going to say it could be they're trying to figure out somebody from ARC 15, maybe, that they're not sure if they are loyal or not to their cause, whatever cause that may be. We're not sure. It might not be any of our lieutenants from ARC 1 that they're talking about.
Well, they're looking for someone. And
They're looking for someone doesn't mean it's from ARC 1.
And she does say, have patience. We'll get him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have any ideas, Richard, what they might be talking about?
No,
Okay.
I mean it's. I don't. I mean, like with I agree with Art 54 there, Liz, that it's a mystery, and I didn't think about what Michael said about it might not even be someone on Arc 1. So I mean, it could be someone from 15. So it's cool. So and like I agree with you, Roger. I think you said that doesn't mean she's a traitor. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, when Kimmy made the face, that's a typical Hollywood trope. She just let everyone know that she is actually a traitor, like he thought. But no, that wrinkle at the very end, as Liz says, she's not necessarily a traitor.
Did Liz say that? I thought it was you.
I don't know who said it.
Well, anyway, I agree with Roger.
For some
Liz.
reason, I was being charitable. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's because you love me.
Ruh-roh.
I always said you have a sense of humor, but good job. All right. All right, folks. So Roger is going to give it a B on this one because of light bright. So it could have been.
Did you have one as a child, Roger?
No! That's why I called
why.
this one light bright.
It sounds like he did. He can't stop talking about it.
I know,
That's
that's
why
why
I am talking about it. I was talking about Legos. I didn't have Legos growing up too, so that's why I made sure my
He
daughters
wanted-
always had Legos.
He wanted them so badly that now he's making things into them. He's
Light
substituting.
Every
Well-
episode, it's something different.
You need to get a light bright for the room. So
I don't even know. Oh, I was gonna say I don't even know if they still have them. And then what did Richard do? He showed it on screen a moment ago. They do have them. All right, I'm gonna give it a B as well. So, all right, fair enough. All right, folks, we're gonna get into episode 4 because as episode 3 ended, dropping out of warp, No, Arc 3, the camera. I tested it. It looked good, but there's no stars, no Arc 3. And just as Bryce turns around,
No Bryce.
no
Poof.
Bryce. The uniform
It's just
falls
pants.
and he disappears. So the very beginning, we see Bryce has vanished, and then we switch to pod 0419. But I thought there was only 400 aboard a ship. So we'll have to come on. What's special about 0419? Okay, but anyway, okay. And then Cat appears. And right away it's like, wow. And then we go to the title. Your thoughts? We'll start with Richard on this one.
This was episode 4. Start, Bryce no clothes, Cat no clothes.
No, she had clothes on. That's
No,
what
she
it
didn't.
is.
No, she
Not
did
at-
not.
No, she
Not
didn't.
at first.
She was naked.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was completely naked coming out of the pod.
You missed that, Roger.
No one had clothes
Failed
on.
me for the last time.
No, she was. She was.
So when
naked
she
too.
came out of the pod, she did not.
Yeah,
No.
how could
Son
you,
of a
Roger? Of all
wench. That's
people,
only
you
because I was
said
writing the notes down. I didn't.
one.
That's what I was talking about in pod 3. I'm like, hey, all's fair in love and war. If the guy isn't wearing anything, why, hey.
Yeah, that just ruined that for you, Roger. Yeah.
Because her uni was still laying in the bottom of the pod. And as far as
Yeah, it was. We saw it later.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she was wandering around naked too. To the much of,
Oh, come on.
yeah, didn't you see all the men, and some of the women getting all
Didn't
excited
you
seeing her
see?
running around naked? And so she shows up. As far as 419, that just means that there might have been some breakage, and maybe 19 pods got broken, and it could have been breakage, and that's why it's 419. But anyway,
Richard,
Oh, there's reason why they showed the close up. They didn't show that close up of the number for nothing. I don't know
right, yes, yeah.
so there could be some more hidden pods. Okay, that's fine.
Well, we don't know what 0419 means, and there could have been more aboard this, because remember, it's a whole different, not a different timeline. It's implied, but it was interesting how they got around it.
Yeah,
This
but-
was not your average time travel
Right.
episode. It wasn't even your average trans rift or whatever. So, I got to
But
give
it
it
was-
to the writers. What's that?
Just go ahead, Roger.
I have to give it to the writers that they did use a real concept. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was really good. It's some obscure little thing. I think the writers were like, okay, yesterday's Enterprise killed it, man. All right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And hey, well, I got this buddy that works at Caltech. Your glasses have anti-naked coating on them. I am not
Good one,
prepared to
Richard.
answer that because I'm going to lose that conversation. I will. But I do want to give a shout out to Elizabeth Olivia Cooper. Thank you for giving us a like. And Aisha Kerr. Thank you for giving us a like. Folks, we're into episode 2. The Other You. Written by Madeline Hendricks Lewin, and directed
Who we
by
have as a guest coming up?
Yep.
yes, and directed by Milan Todorovic.
Mhm.
So, really good stuff. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I think I started with Marsha last time, did I? Or did I start with? Okay.
Started with me last time, but that's it.
So, you know what? Then I'm going to go with Liz on this one. And then I'm going to go to Richard, then Michael, and then Marsh. Liz!
Ow! You yelled in my ear. I thought it was actually.
All's fair in love and war, woman.
I actually thought it was a really fun episode compared to the other one, who, like I said, seemed to kind of, I wouldn't say drag, but it just wasn't as exciting. This one, it definitely had you thinking. And for those of us all that love Richard Fleischman, the idea of him naked like that was so yummy. So yeah, it was really fun, especially to see the surprises when he pops up all of a sudden completely naked in front of Ira, who was supposed to be his girlfriend, and she's freaking out because she had never seen him before. It's just that, and later on we see like a totally different side of Angus. That was fun to watch. So, all in all, I think even the character of Trust was so flipped. Just all of those little special things put in there made it very enjoyable.
So every time Trust comes around Eva, he has to flinch. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce knocked him a good one, knocked him flat, and now Eva, although it was an alternate reality, she knocked Bryce back, and the shock of Bryce.
hmm
That was really funny. That was really good. But that does happen a little bit later, so okay. They're discovering what's going on. No stars, no navigation. Garnet runs to her quarters. Nothing out there. And then Strickland summons Garnet. And Katrina is there. Dressed, obviously. And she's British, which was kind of interesting.
So you're British. That, and she went to, university, whereas Kat, I don't really think went to anything prestigious. So it just proves how intelligent this Katrina is compared to, not saying Kat wasn't intelligent, maybe she didn't have the same opportunities, but
She might not have the opportunities, yeah.
Exactly.
She is British and is married to Trust.
And they talk about Helena.
Yes.
Helena,
That
the way
conniving doctor.
the way they described her is I was seeing Evelyn with that description.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn.
Yeah. Maddox.
Evelyn Maddox.
Oh, okay.
Who
All
we've missed for the last 2 episodes. Haven't you missed her, Miss Charm?
Not
No.
really.
No. She's evil. She's evil. We're going to see her again. I know we
Oh
are.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, fair enough. That was some good stuff. What about some bad stuff? Leah's. And if you don't have any, you don't have any. Commentary.
Not really bad stuff. Actually, I really can't think of anything too terrible,
That was
other
really-
than the fact that I thought that all of a sudden they turned the character Trust into a mushy marshmallow weeping wannabe. But other than that,
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, let me go with the bad. And it's just because I thought I was going crazy. I skipped the commercial break, the middle one. And I'm watching it and I'm going, wait a minute, this is last week's episode. What did I do? Did I mess something up? and then I realized, I go, oh, they're going back because they're going to show what happened to Bryce. And I go, okay.
side
But
of it,
for
yeah.
a few minutes, I was like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I thought my recorder had started re-recording back from the beginning at that point.
Yes, that's. So that was a bad thing.
I'm
I
sorry that
can't-
you endured that. And
I
you
know,
were
it was
taking notes.
Well, no, I don't take notes. That's one of my problems. But I let you take notes, Roger, because you're good. Yeah. So, but anyway, that was good, but that was bad for me. But I really didn't have any other that I can remember anything bad. I mean, it was an enjoyable episode. Liked seeing the alternate people and with the circumstances, like Liz said, that Kat had more education and she was smart in that other world. She probably didn't have those opportunities, and things did not happen in the other world that they did into the Prime world. So Clampton's just went with Trust. He's the only one that had it because he tested it on himself before he released it. So they didn't have that. So who knows what else didn't happen? So.
All right, fair enough. Richard?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things here. Also, you can't just figure that just because the other cat did not go to college wasn't smart because Steve Jobs did not finish school, and he
Oh,
was,
exactly. It's not the opportunities.
he was pretty smart.
Yeah.
And but you're right, Kat is educated, and then Alicia's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a trade-off in that universe, right? So there's a trade-off. But this Kat is pretty smart, and it's a good thing too because she's able to help Kelly, right? She's able to tell Kelly, you can turn yourself on and off with these implants. And plus, she caught the fact that she was turned on. You know what I mean? Her
Yes,
implant-
she was. Yes, it's perfect.
yeah. And she said, well, if she's left, if her implants and stuff are left on, she could have
Organ failure?
organ failure, and die. And Kelly wasn't too happy about that either. Why didn't you tell me this? Because now she's jumping on the doctor. What's his name? Marsh, right?
And who's to say Marsh didn't do that on purpose?
Or did somebody else?
You're right. But still, she's jumping on his bones, right? She's jumping
True.
on his crap.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? And but then again, so then you're saying, Liz, maybe in a conscious or unconscious way, he's trying to set up Kelly to die. Then maybe
Possibly.
Or somebody else is.
Yeah.
that could be true. But anyway,
Could be Angus.
but we didn't get enough naked Cat and we got a lot of naked Bryce. So but it was fun to watch Bryce run around naked in the hallway and him covering his junk. And that was one of the lines I wrote down was like,
Sasha said that. Yes.
you're the one standing around with your junk hanging out, and it's like he's looking down, like, So, and did you see when Bryce ran out of the engineering bay, that one woman just kind of looked around, like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay.
That's not something you see every day. Yeah.
And plus, it's Bryce, so she has to be like, yeah, giving trying to give. She had a scorecard to be a 10. I would imagine. So that beginning, and I was with you, Michael. I'm thinking, hey, what happened here? I'm trying to find my fast forward button on like I can fast forward sci-fi. What the hell's
Oh,
going
so you
on
have
here?
the same issue.
What's going on here? Oh,
Whoa, Richard.
what?
Were you trying to fast forward live television?
Shut up! I'm gonna go. I don't want to hear about your fast forward.
Oh my God! You were trying to Matt is gonna have to see this.
Well, it's not really live TV because I was watching it on the Sci-Fi app, so I was watching it in. But
It's all right, buddy. I can't make this up. I can't make it up.
But anyway, but still, there's like, what's going on here? Because I thought the same thing, Michael. I was like, what happened? Is there a glitch?
And it was episode 3. It was the end of episode 3. It wasn't even episode 4 beginning. It was episode 3.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's going? But you're right. It's like, why did this? So it's weird, and so. But plus, I guess that was the word of the episode too. Weird.
Actually, it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, weird was said everywhere. So you don't need techno babble. You just got to put in the word weird, and then you're taken care of.
You're good to go.
You're good
Well,
to go.
episode 3 was the Olympic commentary. Episode 4 is the political commentary going on right now. But that's neither here nor there. Marsha, go ahead.
Well, a couple of things. I thought it was really interesting that Kelly's hearing was so sensitive that she could almost hear across alternate universes. I thought that was interesting. And that gave me more insight into how powerful are her augmentations, that she doesn't even know how powerful they are. And maybe they will even grow. Maybe they will enhance themselves, so to speak, like AI sort of learns. And another thing is, I really thought that Kat was presumptive to give Kelly control over her augmentations.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, alternate Kat didn't know the history of Kelly and how she had murdered people, and so to just blanketly do that, I thought I took a little issue with that. But she has no idea what she's going to do with it.
Well, Marsha, you caught the phrase post-human.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time it's used, and she says, oh, you have a post-human here.
Mhm.
Kat knew exactly what she was to be or whatever. And Doc, what you guys all said about Dr. Marsh, I don't believe he knows.
You
I
don't
don't
believe
think he does
those?
either.
I don't believe he knows because he was like, you're on, your augments are on, and he immediately turned him on. It didn't seem like he was like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, that's why I think it could have been somebody else that turned them on.
I don't know if anyone even knows.
Knows how to do that? You mean?
15
They don't
might.
know what she is. Maddox knows.
That's
Matt?
why people from 15 might know.
When she sent the code, what did she send? Did she send a shutdown for the bomb? Did she send a shutdown bomb but override long term? Okay, we got to get out of here, but the warp core is going to go in 3 minutes, something like that.
Well, we also have other 15ers on board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I believe that Marsh does not know. No one knows. Kelly doesn't know. But Kat did because she was using the highfalutin terms, number one being post-human, and she knew quite a bit. She said, hey, may I see her?
Well, she had studied them, and there were multiple on
Yes.
Arc One, the alternate Arc One.
Yes.
So they're common.
True story.
But how? But I don't understand how anybody else would have the ability to turn on or off Kelly's augmentations. I
Except for Maddox.
assumed that Maddox and Marsh were the only ones who either had the technology to do that, because it doesn't make sense for anybody to
Well,
be.
remember, Kelly's bodyguard had things to turn on and off when we saw the flashback.
Mhm.
Okay, yes. And
Yeah.
also remember, Marsh is the only one that decided to defend her.
Right.
If he
Hmm.
knew okay, I did not think of what all of you have just said. It smells fishy to me. I don't believe Marsh knows. He doesn't know everything that Maddox did.
Hmm.
So that's the way I'm gonna take it. Because she was really angry, and why didn't you tell me about this? And he was, Marsh. Marsh is in a way Roger. He does not have a poker face. Okay,
Mhm.
you can read him. There's no subterfuge there. You can tell exactly. And the way he reacted when her augments right, he was surprised. He was stunned. So that's how I read it, and I'm going with it.
Hmm.
But
Well,
I've been wrong before.
a couple of short things about this episode that I thought were amusing. That they still have no seatbelts, and when Garnett said "hold on," they held on to the wall or hold on to each other.
Yeah. Like,
Come on.
hold on to what?
So, and I thought Garnett was so funny with Bryce. She was alternate Garnett. Oh, I love you so much, and she was touching his hair, and and she was, and it was. I thought that scene between them was quite amusing. Somebody had said that they thought that was Denise, her sister, rather than Garnett. So that's just an idea that I hadn't thought about. That just an interesting little wrench. But and the last thing is, Trash Alicia was hysterical. They
Yes, he was.
really messed her up. they just stuck her head in a light socket, and just that must have been so much fun to shoot, and such an alternate to her character. I would like down the line, it'd be funny if the alternates could kind of know what each other look like, and what Alicia thought. Well, I know she's coming up as a guest later
Yeah.
to see how she thinks her character would feel with the alternate Alicia.
Well, if you think about it, the roles were reversed. Kat and Alicia. Kat in this universe was the educated, the smart one. Alicia was not.
Mhm.
But she was very weary, and she knew when Bryce was using his one-liner, and is that a pickup line? I thought that was funny. And I had a flashback. I'm like, oh my God, I use the exact same one myself.
Well, I like how Alicia turned.
You want to hear my pickup line? No, just kidding.
I like how Alicia turned on Agnes and wound up, sticking him. That was electric. What is it? Electric.
The baton.
Yeah, the baton. But it also, besides something being a baton, it's also kind of like a half laser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I like
thought
how
that was so funny.
Alicia started hitting on Bryce. I thought that was
Yes.
this is not the Alicia of the other universe. This alternate is like a little bit more outgoing. Like, okay, you still want to hook up? It's like, oh, what? So that was a funny line too. I thought, Marcia.
Well, she says she said he cheated on me last week. You want to help me even the score?
Yeah. So this Angus is a
That was
player.
funny.
This
That when
Angus is
she
a
told him
player.
that.
So
I'm sorry?
it's interesting. I'm just saying, Angus, that the alternate Angus was a player then. If he cheated on her, so he's a player. He's
Yeah.
like, and they seem to be more of a couple in that alternate universe. But I liked how, but I'm with Marcia. I like that. I thought that was a funny line too when she asked Bryce if he wanted to if he still wanted to hook up, even though he didn't want to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, these people are acting very different that they don't even know how they
Yeah.
are. It was very funny that now I'm glad in a way they didn't overplay the hand when Garnett sees Bryce because it's implied he's dead. This guy's been dead for 15, 20 years. He's a hero, whatever, he's dead. And when she sees him, how many times have we seen that the way it could have been played out? They played it a little bit for laughs here, but the reality is Garnett still said, I missed you. I forgot how blue your eyes were, whatever. And it was not as deep or as impactful as it could have been, especially the way we've seen that in other episodes or in other science fiction stuff. Now, whereas they played it a little, I don't want to say nicer, but not as heavy on the dramatics. When Bryce returned and Kat was gone, everyone was high-fiving each other. Did you see where Trust was?
Oh God, yes.
He was on the floor, shattered, because she died again.
Yeah.
This is Independence Day all over again. The president basically had to witness the death of his wife twice. The first time because he thinks she dies in LA, and then he actually is there when she dies. And that's the way it happened.
Although you
And,
don't say that Garnett's character was a little overplayed. You said you thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of overplayed to the point it almost made her look like she had been so mentally shattered from his death before that she was maybe just out of an institution. The way that she played it.
Very
you
good.
know.
Yes. Yeah, that she couldn't believe he was there, but she was readily going to believe it, like he'd been in the dreams just
Yeah.
the other day. It was lighter than it could have been. Because you guys know what I'm talking about. Many other science fiction episodes, that is a major moment when you see the person that you've lost 20, 30, whatever years ago. Well, it can't be that long, but 5, 10 years ago, whatever it
10
is.
years ago, yeah.
It was also nice to see the history that they'd established, and we see Lane's dad and the way Bryce kind of smoothed it out.
He lied.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, big time.
flat out lied. But
That.
it left Lane with a bit of a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder, he was somewhere else. That was kind of cool.
It was sweet of him to do that. I thought it was sweet. Of him to do
Yes,
that. Lied, but it was sweet. It may come back to haunt him, but it was sweet.
it
Yeah.
may, and you never know. That little light bright is still floating around. I still think light bright caused this thing, so it's a Sepian, life form. And then at the very end, I didn't catch any of it, but Garnett did. She goes, "Why are you being weird?" And Garnett's like, "Oh, just made out. Why do you think I'm being weird, Captain?"
You're a good kisser.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was funny how he answered her. He says, "Well, What did he say exactly? He says, "You're a hell of a good kisser, though."
Yeah,
That threw her.
I think it might have thrown her because what she
Oh, it
saw
did.
with the Juno project, she saw Bryce.
Yes, that's why. It was too easy. It was going to be Lane, but when she sees the name, I think it's Bryce.
Same
She's like,
here.
maybe.
he's already in a relationship. Maybe Dean Glassner, Madeline Hendricks Lewin, and John Paul Nickel. They're going to throw us for another loop. There's no doubt
Oh
about
yeah.
it.
But the thing, I'm sorry.
No, go, Marcia. It's
But
all right.
why should it be such a big deal then? It's not like they have to have sex. It's just their DNA, not just their DNA, but I mean, it's not that they have to have a different kind of interpersonal relationship to use their DNA.
Marcia, remember when you went back to school and you're going to be put in pairs, okay? Tell me not. Tell me not. You're like, oh, I hope I get so. Oh, come on!
Yeah.
But they
And that
don't.
was her thing. She looked at. Nah, that's the way it was. Right? Come on, Marcia. That's
But
the way.
had to know that this was something like this was gonna happen. Some DNA matching, not taking into account personal feelings, was going to happen when they started this whole Earth to wherever they're going thing.
They didn't know
They,
about.
they didn't tell him.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't know
No.
about that. And if you follow the timeline, this is just a few weeks. They just found out about this.
Well, that's true.
Well,
It's
because
just still
about
new
what
then.
Chuck said. He said, was it a few days since his wife had died?
That's
Yeah,
what
Like that, yeah.
he said a couple of days, and I went, wow.
A
Yeah.
little longer than a couple of days.
Yeah,
but-
I
That's
mean,
what he
folks,
said.
seriously,
Yeah.
we could actually, if we go over the episodes, I don't think this has been more than 2 months.
We need a time.
Well, I think it's less than that.
Yeah, I think it is less than that. That's what I'm saying. It's no more than 2 months. So they didn't find out about Juno until the vault was opened.
Okay. So if it's only been no more than 2 months, going back to the theory that you think, I think it was Richard that said that Eva might wind up being pregnant, would it be from I can't think of his characters, Dominic's baby, or is it Bryce's? I can't think of Dominic's character for the life of me.
Oh, the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that died in the. Yeah, from season 1.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. You're right there, Liz. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, if
Because
that's
if we're
how,
talking about a few weeks or a few months, that is interesting there, Liz.
yeah. All right, what's his name, Roger?
And then plus, then you got
Almost there. Almost there.
Well, if you're also thinking about that too, Liz, I mean, Eva turned, got over him pretty quick
Harris.
to get to Bryce.
Beck-
That's right, Harris. Thank you.
Yeah, Harris. So
Yeah.
she got over Harris and hooked up with Bryce pretty quickly too. I mean, it was. So you're right, Harris. That could be. Yeah. So this is getting more soap opera-y as we go.
Okay. Do you know what would have been some excellent fan service? When Kat showed up, don't get me wrong. I was happy to see Kat, but then I'm like, oh man, don't tell me. And I was right. There was a chance we were going to see Helena Trust.
Yeah.
There was a chance that we were going to see the young man, Dominic Chicha
Harris.
Harris.
Mhm.
It would have been perfect. Talk about fan service.
That's what I was hoping, but it didn't happen.
And that disappointed me big time. I was
Yeah, me
so
too.
hoping that, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see him, because there was an innuendo somewhere. I'm about to see. I'm going to find my notes. I'm going to throw it out here, and if it's maybe not news, there are a lot more clones than we all care to admit.
Yep.
Something happened in this episode of the last one where I'm like, whoa. And I was thinking to myself, oh, wait, there's a lot more clones.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Marsha's right. They don't do the, whatever they need to do. Maybe it's osmosis. Maybe they have the machine in the vault that says, here, plop it in. Boing, there it is, bingo.
I mean, it's
But then why
100.
would they worry about the match? Who if
It's-
it's gonna be that if it's gonna be that impersonal, why would they care who they're matched up with?
That's my point. Why do they care? It's 100 years in the future.
Because Trust is a thinking person that goes by DNA, and the whole point of this series is the relationships that are established of real people.
Yeah.
Remember, episode 2, first episode. I'm sorry, season 2, first episode. She admits she never had a family. She does now. And they kind of joked about it, maybe in the last episode, about the romantic feelings when they were talking about Juno. Was it in episode 1 or 2 of season 2? Where she says, "You're a romantic." He says, "No, I just want the bottle, woman." That was funny. But she accused him of being a romantic, remember?
Oh, that was the first episode of season 1. Yeah.
Okay. Of season 2 then, right? Yeah. Okay.
Of season 2. Yeah. First
Yes.
episode of season 2.
Okay. That's
And they
good.
found the bottle of booze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was funny, but she did admit, "You're a hopeless romantic," because he talked about it. So there was a lot of setup that and then of course we talked about the last episode where Bryce was making fun of him and the hug and everything. They made it look like it's Burke and I'm sorry, it is Garnett and Lane.
Thing.
And then knowing what happens in this episode, oh my goodness, is it Bryce and
Mhm.
Garnett? No, it's going to be someone else.
Well, who do you think they have matched Felix with?
Well,
Because he has to be matched with somebody. I don't care what his sexual orientation is.
okay. Please, God, tell me that you guys saw it.
Oh, everybody knows who Felix saw as far as getting matched with in a relationship. But
I'm
who did he
talking about
get
his
matched with the
DNA. I'm talking about his DNA, not romantically. Romantically, we saw.
Yeah. But who is his Juno match?
Who is
Okay,
his Juno match?
Okay,
Yes, thank you, Liz.
okay, I'm actually lost here. Who are you talking about then? Who is his match?
That's what I want to ask. Well, who do you think is Felix's Juno match?
Okay, I know we're jumping ahead, but at the very end of the episode, when they arrive, they see stars, they see all this nice stuff. They see Arc 3, and they see a shuttle
Yes.
with the thing. So that's different. There was something else that was different. Please, God, you guys didn't see it? Strickland bumped into someone.
You're
Oh,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
it. You,
Yes.
You're not getting it. You're not getting it, Raj.
I know I'm not getting it. 5 years now. What's your
Thank
point?
you. I'm not talking about his.
his Juno match, not his love interest.
I'm talking about his DNA match.
His
Who do you
Juno
think is
match.
his Juno match? Roger, hello,
Eva.
planet Earth.
I mean, we saw the relationship even before that when they kissed in the hallway on the other
Yes.
arc. I mean, we saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
happen.
we saw that.
And then they bumped into each other in the hallway.
Yes.
Maybe as foreshadowing. Maybe they do meet or don't meet. But
Okay,
but Marsha wants to know what his
I don't know.
Juno match is. Who is he supposed to mate with?
I haven't given any thought, but we saw his husband on the ship after they got back.
No, that was not his husband.
No.
That was somebody new.
Yes, that
who
was
he
new.
married- That's who
No,
he married
that's
in
the
the
new.
alternate reality.
No, they were just dating
Oh, they were just sitting.
in
Okay.
the alternate reality.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were dating because why would his
He
husband
said
be
they
on
were
our-
going out on a date.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
So
that's
I'm
right.
assuming
That's
they
right.
They were
were.
watch this. They were going to look at the stars. They're
Yeah.
stargazing.
Okay, because
And plus
when
that
Strickland
character
went
was on the
by,
other arc.
he didn't
What?
see who he ran into. But okay, I'm just saying that in the same vein that all of a sudden we see this shuttle there,
Right?
that's different, that's changed. And then we see this person who I thought was his husband, but he didn't notice.
Are you thinking that that something has
There's
changed?
it hasn't, things are not resolved. Yes, not everything
Okay.
was fixed.
Oh.
Interesting.
So you're thinking that something is amiss, like in Sliders, when the series Sliders, when they kept going back and they thought they
He
had gone
might
back.
not have seen that.
What's that, Michael?
Did you see Sliders?
The point is,
Yes.
I don't
No.
think it's been resolved. Think about that. The way they ended it, not everything was the way.
Well, they said that was from the Federation, Eastern Federation. That's where the
Yeah.
ship was from.
Yes.
That hooked up with the Arc 3.
It was subtle, but I got the impression that that guy, that's
Well-
why when Strickland, when they're back, allegedly, when they're back in their timeline, Strickland bumps into him, but he doesn't see him.
But he wouldn't have known him because
Yeah.
the guy he knew. That was the alternate reality.
His alternate what? Boyfriend? Could it
Yes.
still have been the person he eventually marries in this reality?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm just saying that not everything was resolved. Not everything is the way
I'm
it should
just,
be.
but Roger, if that was the case, as his husband, I think that Felix would. I mean, that Strickland would know that. I mean, because
Again, it was guys. Look at the scene again. He's running around the corner. He bumps into him, and he doesn't even look at him. He just says, "I'm sorry," and keeps walking. And then the guy.
But that
turns
wasn't the
around
same
and looks-
actor that
What?
played his dead husband on Arc 3.
I'm sorry. What was that?
That was not the same actor that played
Yeah.
his dead husband in Arc 3. That was a different actor.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
I'm just saying that was
But-
probably foreshadowing, or of them having a relationship later
Exactly.
on, or a missed opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's
Mhm.
just not everything is as it should be. Because the way the guy turned around, because I don't think he saw him either, and all of a sudden he looked back and stayed looking longingly. I'm just saying, I believe that not everything did not go back to normal.
Yeah, you're reading too much into it.
Not
This is science
necessarily.
fiction.
Well, I
But
guess
okay,
we'll find
all right,
out.
fair enough.
It's soap opera drama, Roger.
Say what? Say what?
It's soap opera drama.
Maybe. And I cannot argue that.
But
Well,
then
I just
again,
think
we'll
that
see
the
that.
scene is
So you're okay. That is an interesting concept.
Yeah, it is.
In other words, Yar did survive.
Well, we're not. Yeah.
Natasha Yar did survive in yesterday's Enterprise.
So do you think that maybe that character came back from the other arc and kind of it has been
Yes.
assimilated into that time into the other arc timeline and universe?
Yes.
Interesting. I see what.
Well-
There you go. There
Well,
you
there
go.
were other people that died
That's
on
right.
Arc 1 originally. Who's to say he didn't switch into somebody else? You have a point, Roger.
As dull as it is, it's
Because
just
Bryce and Kat switched because their spaces were empty. Because both of them, right? That's why they got
yes,
Well, who knows?
this opportunity for other switches. Is that what you're talking about?
yes.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
wasn't just Bryce and Kat that switched. Suppose
And maybe it was a one-way ticket. You never know.
Yeah, well, guess what? That's cool.
Okay.
Mr. Glassner,
But as far as
damn me all you want, sir.
But
It's if
I
I'm
just
muddling the timeline.
I just don't believe that's what happened. But it's an interesting idea though, Roger. And with Marcia, I was going to say, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. The Marcia, you were talking about them meeting each other again, or more of that. You know, at the other arc universes, those two meeting again. I don't want this turning into Deep Space Nine, where they kept going back and forth all the time, every season or every 6 weeks, where they went back and forth to see their alternate universe people.
Yeah.
I don't want that happening. That was DS9 just overplayed that hand.
Oh, okay. All right, very good.
I agree.
That's a concept for another time that we will discuss. It's a good thing. I've been wanting to actually touch on that for a little bit, all about the whole theory of what the mirror universe was. Good point. No, guys, I'm saying that when they pulled apart, it's, they were going in opposite directions. things did not 100% get back to normal. Just by how things looked at the very end. That's all.
Well,
I'm
then
saying.
we'll find out.
Yes. So it's basically a
Wednesday.
new timeline, for lack of a better word. It's an alternate timeline, but it's there. We're doing the Bryce verse. That
No,
was lame.
the cat verse.
Oh, it would be the cat verse. Okay, that would be better. All right. The cat verse. This is a new timeline where not everything was fixed.
You kind of almost remind me of Voyager
Sadly,
when
sorry.
they flipped into the wormhole and then they flipped ships and they came out.
Mhm.
Not that I've ever seen science fiction before this episode.
Well, you haven't seen Sliders.
Yeah, you haven't seen Quantum Leap. You haven't seen Babylon 5.
What?
I'm picky. I only had so much time in my life. But anyway, go judge me. I know I'm not even gonna look at the view. I know you're judging. So, all right, fair enough. There's Garnett had the moment and she says, well, at least I can say goodbye. And that was kind of cool. But when, like I said, I did notice that Trust was on the ground when she disappeared.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was following her around and then he said, hey. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I want to enjoy all the time I can with her. And the way she says, you are an intellectual giant. I didn't expect this out of you. When he says, hey, I can solve this. I mean, after all, I am the smartest man in the universe. He says, yeah, my Trust would not have said that. And the look that Kimmy gives him, you dumbass. I mean, the way she just looks, she walked away, man. That was a good scene. That was good. Yeah. All right. What else do you guys have?
Well, I think it's really funny that Kat was in her natural accent. The
Mhm.
alternate Kat, who's actually British.
British,
That's
I know.
her actual, and she is such a good actress because I knew that she was British, but hearing her and her whole countenance change was really, really well done. I thought she was
Yeah.
great.
I had trouble. Seemed like, wait a minute, that's Kat. It didn't fit. It was so well done. Yes, Marcia, you're right. I was actually I knew exactly who it was. And it was, it's not right.
It was so well done that her natural voice was the one that I couldn't get quite.
Right. It was funny in this episode because Bryce was decked. Well, he wasn't decked, but he got hit twice. Number one by Eva, and then by Angus, right? And then Angus, why are you calling me Plant Boy or whatever? I thought that was kind of funny. That was good. And Angus, sup? That was funny. That was good in the episode. So there was a lot to like in this episode. It was very high. It was high concept. It was well done. I thought it was kind of cool for the smartest man in the universe. Oh, I sent the message, but I didn't tell him what direction to go in.
Yeah, that was kind of corny.
All I thought to myself was like, oh, so there is a Roger in that universe too. I was like, I easily could have done that. How many times have we fired off the email, folks, and we're like, oh my God, what time are we going to meet? And I already shut the computer off. Right.
Well, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Why do you think that Alicia chose the opposite of what she asked Trust about whether they should go forward or back? She asked
I believe because Trust would have said the same thing in both universes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the
And
exact same thing. Yes.
So she goes, okay, mine says this. That's what the other one would say. I'm going the opposite way.
Exactly. Because we don't trust.
And that was brilliant when he said which direction.
Well, that had nothing to do with Trust.
Yeah.
They just had to do with his logic. I mean, that
And how
was,
he would operate, right?
yeah, that had nothing to do with trust. I mean, he wasn't lying. He was just, well, I would choose this, and so,
He goes up, do the opposite.
and
She
it
was right.
reminds me of another kind of a riddle that I can't remember about. But anyway, it's interesting. Yeah, but she chose wisely. So
Mm.
Oh, so she got to keep the cup. Good for her. Okay, what else? Oh, also the scene near the end where Bryce is seated and Kimmy comes over and she says, "Oh, look, I'm glad you're back." He says, "What do you want?" He says, "Well, you're the one that I could stare at in all the meetings." And that goes
Yep.
back to the prior episode. And she made fun of him, and I love the way he said it. "Run along, lady." Oh, I loved that. Oh man, it was so laced with the he does not like her, and that was really. I love the way. "Run along, lady. Time for you to leave." That was cool. I did appreciate that.
but the most important part with them and Kimmy is when she was asking him why you were a hero,
Yeah,
Right. She asked him about
that's
being on the mission.
and then she asked him, were you there? And
Mhm.
then he just then he shut down and left, right? So I mean,
yeah, and that's why he said the run along lady is. I think
Yeah.
there's a whole lot more buried with Bryce than we know, and I
Right.
think that also goes back to the last episode about the lieutenant. I truly believe it is Bryce we're looking for
Oh yeah,
because something happened, with that whole mission, and I think Bryce was on it. He got Clampkins on that mission. There's just so many things that are now falling into place with different hints over the last couple episodes.
and also remember Bryce gave Trust away to cure his clamp kiss.
Oh, that was cool. Where he tells the other. Interesting, huh? There is
Yeah.
no love between Trust and Bryce. And in the alternate universe, he says the unique spider. He says,
Yeah,
and frankly, I don't remember what the other two are, but you're smart enough. You'll figure
you
it
figure
out.
it out.
That was
Well,
kind of cool.
and that Trust treated Bryce much differently
Yes.
than the one in the regular universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Marcia, you're right. Kelly, there's more to her. Yeah.
Mhm. We are gonna find out. Another question I have for you guys. It seems to me that there are a lot more crew members. I mean, a lot more crew members on board now. I was looking at the final scene, and there's all these people in the cafeteria, and I know ARC 15ers or 15ers came over, but I don't remember how many. And I know that there were many killed on ARC 1. So where are all these people coming from?
I thought it was
There-
around 12 or 15, right?
Yeah, there were 38 that were killed during the attack, but remember there was still 100 and something already on board
There was
ARC
100
1,
and
even at
Yeah.
yeah. We're just
No, they
seeing
just got
more
more
of
of
them
a
now.
budget. They could have more extras. That's all it is.
Yeah,
They didn't have the budget for extras. They had very few scenes that they had a lot of people in.
Yeah, I think this is more. There's a budget thing too, as you were
Yeah.
maybe alluding to. That they've got more money so they can have more people, and it seems more
Mhm.
shippy and more. That there's more going on, and it could have something to do with the COVID stuff and all that, and not having to space people out so
Mhm.
much. And
Oh yeah, there are a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we
So
did
I
find out
like
that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I like seeing more people.
We
That's
found out that Helena Davies, that's her name.
Yes.
Yeah. Like in the other episode, 2 episodes ago, we saw that Kelly is not Maddox. She's Kelly Fowler. So,
And Kelly, we found out that Kelly did know her father more because she said, "Well, I liked my dad."
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
like
knew that she was Kelly Fowler not last season too. I mean,
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't. Sorry.
this
Yeah.
is not a new revelation.
no, not about the Fowler, but
No,
yeah, I wanna see more. Don't
But
we all?
you're right. There's still a mystery to all these characters. I mean, and
Mhm.
now with Bryce maybe being on that lunar thing, and with Arc 54 or Liz, as we know her as, thinking that she's the lieutenant they're looking for. This is the lieutenant you're looking for. So yeah.
This is the lieutenant.
You're looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
Mr.
God, we
Marshall.
all got that. That was funny when he said that. I was thinking about it, which you guys all uttered. That was good. Oh, that was funny. All right, great. Are there any other comments for this episode? Anything else, good, bad, you guys wanted to mention? All right.
Oh, one quick comment that we found out with the interview that was done on Friday with the director. You know that part where Garnett bumps into the wall?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right.
That originally wasn't. It wasn't. Didn't he say that was a whoops originally, and they just kept having her
It was a
do it
whoops
because it was so-
originally, but they liked it.
Yeah, so they kept having
So
her
she
do
had
it.
to keep doing it in all the retakes.
Yeah.
It looked real when she runs into the door. It does. It does. She hits the door hard. I wonder how many times she had to do that.
I don't know.
It was good though.
You're,
All
yeah.
right, fair enough.
That was unexpected. I mean, to see the captain, pull that kind
Right.
of run into the door, and it's like, so you're because when I first saw, it, I was like, that actually happened. I mean, but yeah, that was a funny moment too.
Well,
Well,
I
it was
want a
funny.
campaign for blankets in Med Bay. They look so uncomfortable just lying there with no comfort blankets. You need your little blankie.
Well, Ryan said they were not comfortable at all.
Let me tell you,
They
man.
look
I was in the
comfortable.
theater on Friday night at the iPic Theater, and they provided blankets. Go figure. Jeez, they couldn't even have one on the Ark. Unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying.
When I watched 4 again today, so when I looked in the background and I saw Angus, I thought about what he said about having to
What
be
he
in those
said.
scenes when he just lay in the bed. He just had to show up to be laying in that bed. So it meant a different thing when I watched that scene again. Him back there like this, just laying there going, okay, whatever, So yeah.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of regulars just in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessica Yemi was in the background, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it was good.
and we didn't bring up the message that Kat left Kelly by the glory hole.
Yeah.
Boo! I still think that was really not good of Kat to do. I mean, who
Yeah.
was she to get to do that?
Wait, whoa. The message that she left her?
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
she had-
bad for her to have left the message?
Yeah,
I don't think there's a temporal or prime directive here anywhere.
Well, I say that to say that why does Kat have the right to give Kelly the ability to turn on her augmentations, and she has nothing? She doesn't know anything about her past and all that. I thought that was really presumptive of her to do that.
I agree.
Well, she must have known something because of the way they were treating Kelly.
Well, that even makes it worse.
But
I
what
don't
she
know.
told her was that you have value. I see something. You are. It was a positive message. That's how I
Well-
took it. Am I misinterpreting it then?
I think so because
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, even from the beginning, Kat was saying, "What, you don't have control over your own functions?" I mean, she was like,
Yeah.
very upset about that Kat. That Kelly didn't have, this. She should be able to have, control over her own functions, which makes sense in a humane sort of way.
you
Because
have
I
autonomy
mean,
over it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
then looking at it, do you go and you give someone who is a pedophile or a
Failed
math criminal?
experiment.
She doesn't
Yeah.
know that.
That's
I
why
know.
it was wrong of her to do it. She presumed that she was just like her Kelly on board, not realizing this Kelly is completely different and a psychopath besides the implants.
there is no Kelly on her ship.
But there's other augmented beings.
But you
Yeah,
said, but you
and
said,
they all have the ability
yeah.
to regulate themselves.
And they're not all psychopaths that we know of.
Maddox wanted an army of weapons. That we know. It doesn't look like this Kelly or this Cat did,
Well, I
and
just think
trust for that matter.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that Cat, she didn't have the information, which is fine. She didn't have the information, and she did this anyway.
Yes.
But as far as a right, I mean, why wouldn't she have the right to not to do it? I mean, if Cat made a mistake, we'll find out. But this Cat was just so shocked that she didn't have this right, and I guess it's to begin with. So I think this cat was more
Empathetic.
empathetic
Yes.
toward these humans, or whatever you want to call them. I can't. What's their name again? The non-human. Post-human. So it seems, and plus, remember that was her background. So yeah, empathetic. That's what I was looking for, and I just couldn't think of it because my brain is so limited tonight and every night. So
Turn on your augments, buddy.
Right.
yeah. Where did I put that damn thing? Cat didn't leave mine behind. So
Well, I understand why she did it from her point of view, from the point of view of her not knowing what goes on in the universe into which she found herself. I think she was bright enough to know that that may not have been the best thing to do without at least consulting somebody else, like Dr. Marsh, who knew more about the situation. And we'll see. We'll see.
and
This
besides,
is going to come back to haunt them. There's no
and
doubt.
besides,
Oh,
Cat
yeah.
was leaving, so why should she care?
Sorry, Richard.
I mean, Cat was leaving, so why should she care?
Ooh, nice, Richard.
Wow. So once again, maybe we do have an alternate timeline where some things are not as they should be.
Ooh, deal
Who knows?
with.
Who knows? All right, fair enough. Any other comments on any other items that we didn't go over?
Sounds great.
All right, Richard. What's your score?
Oh, my score. I am going to give this you know what? I'm going to give it an A. I liked it. I thought it was a strong episode. I thought that's with a lot of mystery and going forward as this season and maybe the series continues. And when you get to see Cat naked, not naked, but she's undressed, and then also there's a shirtless Bryce again. You've got to give it an A.
No, he's more than shirtless.
Yep. Well, you didn't get to see the other parts. You didn't get to see you didn't get to see the naughty bits.
Liz, what are your thoughts on the episode?
Like I said, I actually enjoyed the episode because it was a fun episode with the different characters in the twist. There was a lot of little mysteries and things that were left open. I like your viewpoint on saying we weren't quite over with yet. I didn't quite look at it that way. I was going to give it an A-, but now that you put that in perspective, maybe an A.
Sorry. Michael.
Solid A for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying what all this could mean in the future.
If we look back a year, episode count-wise, this was the episode of the Comet Water, right?
Yeah.
Where they were all remembering those from the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tiny bit of symmetry right here, just for what it's worth. We went back again in a way. That was kind of cool. Deliberate, I think it was. They turned some science fiction concepts on their ear. And Dean, wow. Mr. Glassner, wow. And everyone else we've mentioned before. There's depth to the story. This was good. This one was and is an A for me. Marcia.
I'll agree with everybody else. I think this is an A, and I think that this might be one of the fan favorites in years to come also. I kind of call it we talked about the mirror of this series so far. Yeah.
I guess it'll be an entanglement. Yeah, that was really good, guys. It's actually not a strange concept. It was really good. One final thing, we talked about the differences. Wasn't it great how when in the Prime universe, our universe, they didn't believe it, they didn't understand, and on the other side, oh my goodness,
Oh, thank you.
oh my goodness, in the chat room, how you doing, young lady? Rain K is visiting with us. Thank you, Rain.
Yeah.
How are you, Rain? Please
Yep.
do us solid. Put your link in the chat room right there so we can put it on screen right now as we finish this one. Ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen,
thank
you
you,
know
Rain.
who this is.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Rain. Thank you for letting us know that you were stopping in right now. But if you would, put your link right now so we can give it some play right here on screen while we're live, while we're finishing up. But I thought it was really cool how in the Prime verse, they were all that, they couldn't explain it. And then the other one, Trust was like, yeah, quantum entanglement. It was just like that.
Yeah.
It might have been a little, whatever, but rockers, hey! All right, folks, check it out. Oh my goodness, miss you, buddy. There it is. I am Rain. You can check it out. Look for her. She does a lot of good stuff on in the real world.
Yeah.
And rockers, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. So,
Well,
this was
come
good.
to think of it, Roger, now that you mention that, how come the other universe wasn't working to do the same thing?
That remains
Well,
a mystery.
What same thing do you mean?
To get their people back, to get why weren't they doing the same
They
thing
didn't
to
know at first.
get universes back?
They didn't know she was missing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
well,
they knew is they had a security thing that Bryce was running around. It's our pleasure, Rain. Hopefully we can have you on again in the future.
and
But
I know
yes.
it's probably because they didn't have enough time to go through all that, and
Probably.
but well,
A
like you
naked man
But
would
then
get more
again,
attention.
but Kat was in suspended animation,
That's
Yeah.
true.
so they didn't expect her to be walking around on that alternate arc.
Bingo.
Okay.
That actually answers it. Yes.
okay, I'll go with that.
They're
Yeah.
surprised now.
Okay.
They're surprised when they got separated. Now they're surprised that why is she out of suspension? So
Yeah, that's but we didn't get to see that. So
Right.
Yeah.
But it was assumed that she was. Yes.
and that's what Richard wanted to see. When she went back.
See, I missed it.
yeah, yeah.
Rare.
Another naked cat running around. Yeah,
Exactly.
or Katrina.
To have my interest. All right, folks, we're gonna be able to finish this episode. Don't forget to check. I need the clubs, the sci-fi club, the ARC groups. Here they are. The ARC fan group, there it is, and the ARC series fan group. Folks, check it out. And we have a lot of stuff coming up. We have about a minute left, so I'm going to make this quick. Head on over to ndbmedia.net. Check everything that is on calendar. Diana Bermudez, Kimmy Jama is going to be on the 16th. Stacey Reed, Alicia Nevins on the 18th. India Sage Wilson on the 19th. John Paul Nickel, writer of the prior episode, will be on the 23rd. Jessica Yemi on the 25th. Paul Leonard Murray, Mr. Trust, on the 31st. Pavle Jurinic on the 6th of September. And kicking off year 17 here on NDB Media, Madeline Hendricks Lewin, the writer of tonight's episode that we're going over on the 23rd of September. Folks, that's it. Thank you, ARC54, Michael, Marsha Middleton, Richard. I got to finish this episode at the 2-hour mark. Thank you all, everyone, for stopping by.